We have Dr. Payal Kohli joining us. We have a couple of questions about a new variant and other issues. Welcome, Dr. Kohli. Welcome to the table. You look great in blue, as always. Millions of Americans have been vaccinated. The numbers have slowed down, yes. But, Doc, the 3 vaccines in circulation are FDA approved for, quote, emergency approval. And I want to know the difference between that and full FDA approval. And do you think more people will get it once it's fully FDA approved?
So, Tori, psychologically, certainly I think more people are going to get it once it has full approval. But I'm glad you asked me this question, because if you look at the difference between emergency use authorization, which is something the FDA can do during public health emergencies, and full approval, there are no shortcuts when it comes to the science. So the clinical trials are exactly the same. The research, the adverse events, the shortcut really occurs in the administrative piece of it and the manufacturing. So they basically start making the vaccine even before it's approved, which is how you save the time. So rest assured that even under EUA, all the science is robust, all the phases of the clinical trials were done.
That is very good information.
That's reassuring.
Yeah.
Now, Doc, we've spoken about variants before, and now I'm starting to hear about this Delta variant, which makes me very uncomfortable. Can you explain what it is and make me feel comfortable?
Well, I'm not sure. Well, you're vaccinated, so you may feel comfortable because the vaccines do protect against this variant. But Al, this is really a super variant, is what I like to call it. And it's thought to be largely responsible for all the cases in India, the way that the virus is spreading there. And it's also now become dominant in the United Kingdom. And here in the US, 6% of cases now are due to the Delta variant. And this variant is really a super variant in the sense that it can evade the immune system, and it's much more contagious. By far the most contagious variant we've had so far. But as I said before, the vaccines work, so I think you guys know what I'm going to say. Go out and get that vaccine if you haven't already.
Absolutely. Hey, Doc, there's recent news that 2 fully vaccinated and asymptomatic passengers on a Celebrity Millennium cruise tested positive for COVID-19. Now, they only found out because of required testing. So how do you react to this situation, Doc?
Yeah, I heard this. So I have to say I'm not surprised, because we know that no vaccine is 100% effective, and there are going to be some breakthrough cases even in fully vaccinated people. But Jeff, I think 2 important lessons from this. The first is that even if you're fully vaccinated, remember to keep your guard up, as I always say, because there's still a chance you could catch an infection, even though, as in this case, it's likely to be milder. But the second and more important one, Jeff, I think is a public health message, really, which is that we should still be testing. Even as more of us get vaccinated, I don't want tests to go away, because that's how we're really going to pick up a lot of these cases that are less symptomatic.
So, Dr. Kohli, just yesterday, the CDC announced that it will hold an emergency meeting next week because of reports that teenage boys are having heart inflammation after the Pfizer and Moderna vaccine. So can you unpack that for us?
Yeah, so a lot of different things, Lindsay, to unpack over there. So we're just really trying to figure out, is the vaccine causing this complication, or is it just associated? And unfortunately, in this case, it's starting to look more and more likely that the vaccine is actually causing this complication because of a few clues that we're seeing. The first is that it's occurring soon after people receive the vaccine. The second is that it's clustering in a similar demographic, so it's really occurring in young males. And then the third is that the rate of myocarditis, or inflammation of the heart muscle that's occurring, is higher than the background rate. So we think it's a real signal. The CDC is meeting next week to see what to make of it. But I want to remind everybody it's really, really rare. Less than 0.002%. So even though it might be real, of course, the risk of this complication is far less than the risk from the virus itself. So go and get your teenagers vaccinated. Al, what do you think about this? You've got some teenagers.
Well,
does this worry you?
It absolutely does. I mean, both my teenagers are vaccinated, but the youngest one, baby Ford, who's almost 7, but he's going to be baby Ford forever. He's not vaccinated. So, I'm actually going to that CDC meeting next week. So
you're not
I'll report
a
back to
doctor,
you guys.
Al.
Yeah,
let us know how it goes.
I'm going to be there.
Dude, Dr. Kohli, I apologize again.
Report back to us, Dr. Jackson.
He's not Dr. Jackson. I hate this.
I'm going with Doc. He's wearing a white coat.
Oh, I'm so irritated. Thank you, doctor, so much.